About 2 months ago, we posted an apartment tour video, and you may have noticed that we used the term minimalist in the title of that video. When we used that term, we were mainly referring to the design aspect of our home, as in it has a minimalist aesthetic. We didn't intend for it to refer to a minimalist lifestyle. But in this video, we want to talk about the minimalist lifestyle side of things. What is our relationship with living minimally? Why we choose to live the way we do? And if we even consider ourselves minimalist. Let's start by answering the big question. Are we minimalist? Believe it or not, prior to making this video, we've never even considered ourselves as indisputably minimalist. Or more accurately, we just did not give it much thought at all. People may embark on a journey towards minimalism because of a variety of reasons. So different people may have a different interpretation or practice of such a lifestyle. And these different journeys can be philosophical to some degree, which is why we're not particularly concerned with or attached to the label. The planning of this video was the first time we sat down and discussed our relationship with living minimally and asked ourselves if we are in fact minimalist. Our short answer is yes, perhaps we are. But we didn't decide to live a minimal life, but rather the intentionality towards how we want to live our lives may have by default classified us as minimalists, if that makes any sense. Let's talk about what that means and why we choose to live the way we do. We've known each other for close to 17 years now, and we've been together for 10. As a couple that frankly spends too much time living and working together, we make extra effort to communicate and align our outlook on life so that we can always be on the same page. 3 principles that we strive to live by, which have influenced us to live simply, are our intentions to live consciously, sensibly, and contentedly. Living consciously is a huge part of our identity. We are particularly committed to being more thoughtful about how we are treating our bodies, our minds, and the environment. Which is why we've allocated the largest space in our apartment, our living room, to be a spot where we can play and keep our bodies active. And we also put more thought into our kitchen because that's where we prepare the meals that nourish our bodies. When it comes to treating dear planet Earth more thoughtfully, we're nowhere near doing a perfect job, but owning fewer things is just one effect of us exercising a little more thoughtfulness. We are definitely not against buying or owning stuff. We just leave shopping for when it's absolutely necessary so that we can make more conscious decisions. We had the luxury of starting with an empty apartment, and instead of having to think about what we don't want in our home, we thought more about populating the space with the stuff that we will need or love, stuff that will add value to our lives. We don't watch a whole lot of TV, but we do enjoy an occasional movie night. So instead of a bulky permanent screen, we use a projector on a trolley instead. Then we need a place to sit and relax, so we have beanbags, which we prefer to a couch both in terms of comfort and versatility. We knew we wanted a space for us to move and be active, so we made sure to leave lots of room, and we hung some gymnastics rings. We're also bound to have guests, so we also have a dining table and some chairs to go with it. Obviously, we don't have an upper limit to the number of things we can own. If we need something, we won't hesitate to go out and buy it as long as it's the sensible thing to do. It's all a matter of needs, and if our apartment feels bare and empty, then maybe it's because we simply need very little. Living contentedly and just being happy is the last, but certainly not the least. Culture and history have a strong influence on people's opinions of how a home should look or be, or what needs to be done to make a home feel complete. Some common opinions may be to paint the walls with some color, add some art or decor on the walls as a finishing touch, or have a nice big TV. And that's completely fair. Everyone can and should have their own opinions, no matter if they are random commenters on the internet or family. But we were not interested in building our home to make them happy or earn their approval and validation. There's this saying, We buy stuff we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. Yeah, we try to avoid falling into that trap. So I'm sure that although many will be left utterly unimpressed because we certainly didn't spend the money, which we really don't have, to buy stuff that we didn't need, we're perfectly happy with that. And that about sums up our relationship with living simply. What about your journey? Why are you interested in a more minimal lifestyle? And what do you find makes you happy?
Hi, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and do hit the subscribe and bell button below so that you don't miss any of our future uploads. Bye!